Hello, this is Douglas Block. Welcome to your regular depression recovery channel. Bi-weekly live screen chat or live video chat. There we have it. Live video chat on YouTube. It's Wednesday, January 24th at noon Pacific Standard Time. I'm waiting for our first viewer to come in. And I hope I basically have this on public. I better. So at any rate, it's been raining the last couple of days in Portland, Oregon. Not a very good time for going ahead and doing bike riding, but there is going to be a break in the afternoon, and hopefully that will, allow me to go outside and do my favorite thing to basically, get my mood up and exercise. You can't beat it with a stick. And OGIH says hello. Well, hello to you. Nice to see you here. You have to tell me what OGIH stands for. Let me scroll up here and see who else is here. Oh, never ever. Hey, never ever. I hope you're doing better. I know you're had some comments on my channel that show you're going through a tough time. Hang in there. Dave Piquel, of course. TJ Roberts. Hola, hola. What do you say? ¿Cómo estás? There we are. ¿Cómo estás usted? Muy bien, I hope. Anyway, there's my Spanish. So what's up? Wow, January's coming to an end, and I have now 46 patrons on my Patreon account supporting this channel. I only have 4 more to go. Hey, TMACO192, thank you for your $3 pledge the other day. Nice to know your real name too. What part of the country do you live in anyway, TMAC0192? We agree on a lot of things, the two of us, including the treatment of animals in this country, but that's a whole other situation. Only goal is happiness, and you can pronounce it like Yogi Bear. Just know why. Ogie, I guess so. Is that right? Ogie Bear? Except no why. Ogie, okay. Well, Ogie, only goal is happiness. That's what the Dalai Lama says. That we're here. Everybody wants happiness. Everybody's the same, and so even the people you don't agree with politically, or different people of different religions, or socioeconomic status, we're all unified by our common desire to seek happiness and avoid suffering. So. You know what the Dalai Lama said? My religion is kindness. All right, so I'm coming up with a video on one day in 5 days. It's an old video I made many years ago. You'll see I look younger. Based on my book, When Going Through Hell, Don't Stop. And here it is. By the way, anybody who becomes a patron today will get a free ebook of this. $10, I'll send you a real book, but even $2 will help us get one step closer of 50 subscribers. And that would be really cool to know that at least 50 people are joining together with us to bring mental health recovery to people around the world. Hey, Scott Bauer, finally made it on time. I don't think I've sent you my link about Patreon, have I? Anyway, you can see it right here. I'm going to go ahead and put it right in the Douglas Block Say Something. So Scott, if you want to go help get this channel to more people. Boy, I'm getting a lot of powerful comments lately from people all over the world. It's amazing. Depression is no respect of persons or religions or spiritual paths. It affects everybody. And especially now, there's some dark times going on. But all right, so When Going Through Hell, Don't Stop, right? Taken from Winston Churchill. Here it is again. Actually, Winston Churchill originally said, when going through hell, keep going. And by the way, has anyone seen the Winston Churchill film called Darkest Hour? Gary Oldman won the Golden Globe for Best Actor, and I will take every penny I own. I'll mortgage my house. I'll take my wife's IRA, and I'll put it on the fact he will get the Best Actor for the Oscars coming up on March 4th. So it's an amazing film. I hope you can see it. Winston Churchill did an absolutely fantastic job of saving Western civilization. Has anybody seen a movie called The Shape of Water by Guillermo, I forgot his last name, but he was a Mexican director. It's supposed to be a fantasy. A lot of my friends like it. 13 Oscar nominations. You guys see any good films lately? Right, so when Winston Churchill was battling the Nazis during World War II and things were looking bleak, he said, when going through hell, keep going. And I was on a radio show in 1989 when a minister was quoting that, and he said, I have another way of saying when going through hell, keep going. When going through hell, don't stop. I like that better for some reason. I said, one day I'm going to write a book on it. Little did I know that book would be about my own depressive breakdown and life-threatening illness where I almost took my own life, but made it through the other side. So yes, that has been my theme. And the theme, of course, on the spine of the book, I don't know if you can see it right here. There's a, well, there's a phoenix bird. See that little phoenix? Well, Julie Hayes, one of our active participants, sent me this phoenix a couple of weeks ago. She drew it, she created it. What an amazing thing. Out of the ashes I rise, and that's what happens to anybody who's been through a depressive breakdown. And many of you out there know what it's like to rise from the ashes. Tracy, hi Douglas, I'm having a bad day, but I'm still here. Well, that's it. So Tracy, what type of bad day are you having? Tell me your symptoms. See if I can essentially help you get through them. I love to say something that would help you make it through the day. One thing I'll say is take 1 hour at a time, or one breath at a time, or 1 minute at a time. And don't think too far ahead of yourself. Don't say, well, will this ever end? I'll never get better. Just say, what can I do to get through the day? So Tracy, what's going on? Dave, what's going on? And what can you do in the here and now to help yourself feel a little bit better? Persian born and raised here in Southern California. Parents from Iran. Yeah, I know a lot of people from Iran. There's a lot of Iranians in the Los Angeles area, T-Mac. One of them married my best friend's son. She's a really sweet gal. They're both professors of math in a small college in the Midwest. And lovely. You know, the Iranians are very hardworking and they're quite prosperous in the LA area. Many of them have clothing stores, and so yeah, they're good people. Of course, Persia is the name for Iran. And speaking of Persia, I have a Persian cat named Bruce, and who's I did a couple of videos on. Let me see if I can find a picture of him here on my phone. One breath at a time. I can't get your link to work. Are you talking about the Patreon link? No, because you can't do it because YouTube will not allow you to have the whole thing. Because only patreon.com is underlined, Douglas Block is not. So you just have to go ahead and cut and paste that in a browser. It will not work clicking right here, unfortunately, but I will definitely send you a free ebook. So yeah, so never ever go take that patreon.com Douglas Block and type it in a browser. It will work there, but it won't work if you click on it right here. Here it is again, but unfortunately, I don't know why YouTube sets it up that way, but you see how my name is in red? Well, that means it's, but you can just click on patreon.com and then you can type in my name. Douglas Block will come up. So here, let's do this. This will make it easier for you, never ever. Just do this. Click on that link. It'll take you to the Patreon site, and then put in my name, Douglas Block Depression. You'll come right to my page. That's the better way to do it. If I click on the link right now, it'll take me out of the live chat. Don't want to do it. But if you click on that link, it will take you to Patreon, and just type in my name, and you'll come right to my home page. April Wagner. Hey, I'm sorry about that comment last night, or not the comment. You know, we had the little conversation about it. But did you see? I sent you a link. I posted a video about Bruce on my Patreon page. I hope you go in there and write something awesome about Bruce. Alan McNair says, hey Doug, any advice or book recommendations for body dysmorphic disorder? Wow, that is really an important question. And I really got to, does anybody know what body dysmorphic disorder is? Maybe you can explain it, Alan. It means that someone has an unrealistic picture of their body, like they think they're not good looking, or their hips are too big, or their nose is too big, or you know, some sort of negative opinion of their body, which is not true, but consumes them. You know, Alan, I would just say put in Google body dysmorphic disorder resources. Any bit of cognitive therapy, go get the book Feeling Good by David Burns, or and just it will help you to change your negative perceptions, your unrealistic perceptions, into realistic ones. So anything you're thinking about your body is not reality. It's coming from your depression. So that's the first thing I would say. Get a good book on cognitive therapy. But you know what? Alan, would you like me to make a video about that and kind of dedicate it to you, or say that you were the person who inspired it? If you would like me to, just send me an email, Alan, douglasblock@gmail.com right here, my first and last name at Gmail, and I will go ahead and do some research and create a video on that. I'm sure you're not the only person experiencing that. I think people with anorexia have that also. Body dysmorphic disorder, they starve themselves and don't eat because they think they're not thin enough. Wouldn't that be an example? Yeah, I'm going to. I love you, Bruce. Well, you know, April, you should tell the viewers how great Bruce the cat is. Hello, I'm Greg. Hey, hello, I'm Greg. I hear you have 6 or 7 people on your support group, virtual support group. Put out your email address so people can go ahead and contact you. You're listening, but you're not listening, reading questions too sick. Don't worry, Danielle. The flu has been bad. It's called canine flu, I learned last night. Dave Piquel, hello to Greg and Danielle. I love Danielle. She's always sending me cool things. Unfortunately, I left it in the living room. What's the difference between bird's flu and swine's flu? One needs tweetment and the other needs ointment. There's a really cute picture, and I'm not going to get up and get out of the chair, but yeah. Arcade Cup. It's all in your head in response to any mental ailment. Well, your dad was wrong, Arcade Cup. It's not all in your head, it's all in your brain. I'm even going to type that. It's all in your BRAIN. Exclamation point. It's all in your brain, Arcade Cup, because depression, like addiction, is a brain disorder. Right up here, something's not working. I did a wonderful video called, it's my most popular video, called How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain. When people are anxious, their brain circuits are not functioning properly. Either their amygdala, the sentinel of fear, is overactive and they're afraid of everything, and they're in constant alert, like hypervigilance, like fight or flight, or their neocortex is not operating properly and they keep imagining things in the future that are going to be bad. It's called worrying. Anybody here worry? It's really a really bad habit. And there's hello, I'm Greg at gmail.com right there. All right, what was I going to do? Something was coming to me about, it's on your brain, right. Yeah, depression is a brain disorder. And so never ever, have you tried clicking on patreon.com to get to my page? Just get to the main Patreon page and type in my name. I like that better. Thanks, Doug. Yeah, it is all in your brain. That's right. All in your mind, like, discounts it. Like, hello. When people are depressed, they have no energy. They can't get out of bed. They have no sex drive. Their sleep is disrupted. Their hunger goes away. That's not all in your head. Those are real physical symptoms. Depression is an illness like the flu. As a matter of fact, I just had a video out, which I hope you see. It came out on Monday. It's called The Impact of Physical Illness on the Depressed Mind. A lot of people have been getting sick in Portland, Oregon. I hear that this flu is an epidemic, and when people get sick, Danielle, you can testify this, Danielle Kate. You know that when you're really ill, you start to get more gloomy, more pessimistic, and your depression symptoms rise, like go up like that. You keep telling yourself you're ruminating. Well, you are ruminating. You should go look at my video, the most popular one I have on my channel, called How to Stop Ruminating. It's pretty simple. Just take the focus out there, and when it's in here in your head, you become overly obsessed with your own thinking, and you're trapped in the prison of your own mind. But when you focus out there, when you go make an appointment to have lunch with a friend or go on a walk or exercise, now you're not thinking about yourself, you're interacting with the outside world. So Tracy, if you can do that, that would be great. Can you speak on OCD? From time to time I have a phantom feeling. I believe everything I touch is getting, yeah, well, rumination does run you down, Tracy Leggett. Have you seen a psychologist at all? They could probably give you some good techniques. Also, there's a medication. Worry is my middle name, and yes, I got into the site. Well, thank you. Even $2 a month will make a difference. We're just trying to get to 50 patrons, never ever, and I will send you, this book is I'm more proud of this book than anything I've ever done. It poured out of my heart and soul like a month after I got out of this depressive illness. It was so fresh in my mind. People say they don't want to remember. I remember everything. I remember almost every day of that breakdown. And I talk about it in here. And the moral of the story is you can get through it. And after the death is a rebirth. After the crucifixion is a resurrection. After winter is spring. So let me know how that goes, never ever. And by the way, you can get out of the habit of worrying very, very easily. There's a very famous book by Edward Hallowell called Not to Worry. You should take a look at it. Contaminated. Yeah, well, OCT. Oh, yeah, here it is, Craig. Okay, check this out. LUVOX. Anybody who has obsessive compulsive disorder, has intrusive thoughts, keeps thinking they're getting germs and they're not well, and you just can't turn their mind off. This medication called Luvox, it's an SSRI antidepressant. works wonders for people. I have two men in my Tuesday night support group who have used it. It's made a big difference in their lives. So remember what Dow Chemical said in the 1960s, better living through chemistry. Should imipramine make you happier? Well, imipramine, William Johnson, nice to see you again, is the first antidepressant ever discovered and used. It was used for tuberculosis, and then people noticed their mood improved. So it will not make you happier, but it will put a floor on the symptoms of depression, and it will help you to just feel not so gloomy and not so desperate, so you can work on yourself using therapy and exercise, etc. So yes, it shouldn't give you bad thoughts. It's supposed to do the opposite. If it is giving you bad thoughts, you want to try different medication. Yes, you need to get Luvox prescribed, Greg. Any doctor, nurse practitioner, or psychiatrist can do that for you. It's very simple. It's a very common, well-known, and well-respected medication. Like all medications, start at half the dose they tell you. Get a pill cutter. Go up on it gradually, because sometimes SSRIs can be agitated for some people, like yours truly. One of my breakdowns was caused by a bad reaction to something called Effexor, but Effexor helps a lot of people. Are we ready for a joke? Well, last time I got some good ones from 1JE24. He said that the question is, why did the witch not wear a flat hat? The answer, there was no point in it. I told that to my group last night. They thought it was very funny. Right, April? Thank you, Doug says, hello, I'm Greg. Try out Luvox. Let me know. Send me an email, etc. William Johnson, did I answer your question about imipramine? All antidepressants will not make you happy. They will just take away some of the pain and suffering, so you can use other things to get better. They'll get you a little bit out of the pit. What is the best dosage to start with, Doug? I am not aware of the prescription of imipramine. It's an older thing, but if I go on I don't want to be rude and go on my iPhone, but if you just say dosage for imipramine, go to drugs.com, and you thought it was funny. So if you go to www.drugs.com, they will tell you what the different prescriptions are, what the beginning dose is. But of course, you're not going to medicate yourself, right? William Johnson, you have a nurse practitioner or a psychiatrist. They'll have you start on the right dose, but just tell them you want the lowest dose possible. Go to drugs.com to get an idea of that, and then go to your prescriber and say, hey, I hear this is the starting dose. Please put me on the starting dose, and then get a pill cutter and cut it in half if it's a tablet. It's one thing I've learned in 17 years of being in this business about medications. Start slowly and titrate up. That's what Jim Hansey, the #1 anxiety psychiatrist at Oregon Health Sciences University, who has helped many of my clients, he says, titrate up, titrate up, titrate up, start low. Like the stock market, right? Buy low, sell high. Where did I hear that joke? Says one Claire Lou, from a guy named 1JE24, who was on the live chat on Sunday. That's where I heard it from. Can I tell you another one he told me? He said, here was another one of his jokes. What did the electrician say when he was fired from his job? I'm shocked. Okay, that was another one. Yeah, William, let me know how it goes. Send me an email. I have to be honest, I use weed to help me with everything. I tried a lot of different medicines. Well, Corey Wasser, I've never seen you before. Hemp seed oil works. Oh, absolutely. Hemp seed oil is like CBD oil. Yes, well, in Oregon, that I live in, the state of Oregon, the United States of America, 2018, marijuana is legalized both for medicinal purposes and recreational purposes. And I would say that at least of the 25 people I work with individually, I'd say at least 6 of them use marijuana or hemp oil to treat their symptoms, and it works. Now for me, marijuana makes me ruminate more and gets me internal, and that's not what I need. But for some people, it helps with anxiety, mostly anxiety. Corey Wasser, does it help you sleep, or does it help you with anxiety? Hey, Pearly Bonda, how's it going in your new home? And by the way, never ever, hemp seed oil is a good thing. Let me know how the Patreon link goes. DJ Abbas, hello Doug, I like your videos, they help me a lot. Well, I'm glad they do. That's what they're meant to be for. I didn't suffer all that suffering for nothing, right? I got to make some good out of it. CBD oil, I use that too, yeah. Well, CBD oil has, will you explain, Corey, and never ever, that there is no psychoactive properties in CBD oil. It is 100% non-psychoactive. It has nothing to do with marijuana. It is the oil from a hemp plant, and it came into national prominence. Do you ever heard of something called Charlotte's Web? It's a strain of oil that was used on a small, I think she was about 6 years old girl in Colorado who was having horrible epileptic seizures, hundreds a day. There was no hope for her, and I don't know how her parents found out about it, but they contacted a farm in Colorado that grew marijuana and extracted this oil that was called Charlotte's Web, and they give it to the child, and bingo, seizures almost disappeared. Now, these people were against marijuana. They were conservative politically, and they said, you know, this is we have cognitive dissonance. I've been told that weed is bad, yet it's saving my daughter's life. What am I going to do? Well, guess what? They chose their daughter over their belief system, and that's how CBD oil got nationally known. It's a beautiful story. You should go Google, you know, how did CBD oil, just Google Charlotte's Web. Pearly Bonda, very nice, but I have been having some panic attacks. I feel so happy some days, very sad, don't know what's wrong with me. Well, Pearly Bonda, you have a mood disorder, right? What is your diagnosis? You might have bipolar disorder if you're going from happy to sad, and a mood stabilizer might help tremendously. I have a gal in my Tuesday group who was trying everything for ages, and I said, try lithium for Christ's sake. You have, you have bipolar too, and sure enough, she tried it and it helped her out. So, Pearly Bonda, tell me what your diagnosis is, and you might have a mood disorder. Talk to your doctor. Raccoons have arrived. Oh my goodness, boy, they're all over Portland, and they can be nasty. Hemp oil for insomnia, I've got to try that. Well, yes. Okay, so raccoons have arrived. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night very agitated. I take about 2 drops of CBD oil under my tongue. My heart rate starts to go down, and I'm able to get back to sleep. So I use it in the middle of the night when I wake up and I'm agitated. So yes, raccoons have arrived. I love, where do you get that name? It's cool. Anxiety, depression, smoking weed is the only way I eat. Oh yeah, well, smoking weed is something that stimulates your appetite. But you know what, Corey Wasser? There's the medication called Remeron, which also helps appetite and helps depression. If you're satisfied with the marijuana, fine. But if you want to try a prescription medication way, or if marijuana is illegal in your state, I'll type in the name, E-R-O-N. It's a very good medication, and you should try it if you want to increase your appetite. What do I know about GABA for anxiety? There are more GABA receptors in the body than any other receptor. When you drink alcohol to relax yourself, it influences the GABA receptor. So some people believe that GABA, by taking it, can reduce anxiety. I've seen mixed results, but there's a supplement called GABA Calm. I'll even put it out there, GABANCALM. I've given that supplement to my nephew and my niece who have anxiety disorders, and it's helped them maybe 20%. Hey, that's better than nothing. When you're anxious, you want any relief you can get. So Dave Piquel says I use chewable GABA and it takes the edge off. Yes, very subtle. Exactly, Dave Piquel. Long story, it involves THC. Okay, well, I just love raccoons have arrived. What state are you in? So one Claire Lou, yes, GABA for anxiety. Dave Piquel has used it. My nephew has used it. My niece has used it. So I think it's a good shot. Army of Radishes, you're back. Hi, Mr. Bach. I'm having a pretty bad, anxious day today. Any encouragement? I have a tsunami of intrusive thoughts right now and feel hopeless. Yeah. You should email Greg. Hello, I'm Greg at gmail.com. Gregg. You guys should get together and talk about your obsessions. It might help. But anyway, talk to people. Go outside. Turn your mind away from your internal state. I don't know. Do you like to exercise? Run up a hill until you're completely exhausted and out of breath. You will not be thinking about intrusive thoughts. But again, the medication, one Clairlou, when did you send it? Oh, you've asked me this last time. No, tell me your email address. When I type in one Clairlou, nothing comes up. You have to tell me your email address so I can search for it in my email. So tell me that right now. I text Danielle telling her, and she got my mood up. Well, Pearly Bonda, I think you guys both live in Texas. Isn't that correct? This is the whole point of these live chats, everybody. It's to connect you with each other. It's a form of community, because united we stand, divided we fall. This is my affirmation for my depressive support groups. They're a place where people can come together to create community, give and receive support, and replace the symptoms of anxiety and depression with those of wellness and joy. We have an online community every Sunday and Wednesday. You guys should exchange email addresses, phone numbers, and when I'm not here, you should do exactly what my support group members do. You should contact each other, email each other, text each other. and help each other out, because horizontal support is the way to go. Now, we don't get rid of therapists, we don't get rid of psychiatrists, but I'm telling you, it's like a three-legged stool. You have the first leg is the doctor or the medication, if you take it. The second leg is the therapist, and the third leg is peer support. Peer support, with peer support, there's nothing you can't overcome. If you don't believe me, talk to Bill Wilson. Talk to my friend Ann, who's in Alcoholics Anonymous, 4-year sobriety. Talk to many, many people in AA or 12-step groups. April here has gone to CODA, C-O-D-A. You might want to tell people about that. I'm off to my counselor point. Hey, we'll let you know we'll let you know what does April Wagner say. You're going to see, is her name Cheyenne? Yeah, April, it's so good you're seeing Cheyenne again. Tell her all about this new relationship you're in and everything. I mean, that's what they're there for, to help you out. So you send me a text later on. Let me know how your counseling session goes. So one Claire Lou, I'd love to answer your email, but you need to tell me your email address so I can search for it. Otherwise, I can't find it. Or you can send it to me right now, and as soon as I get off the phone, I'll go to my email and I'll just go back, put a subject matter in it, like, hey, I'm from live chat. I have clinical depression, GAD, panic disorder, and depersonalization, several health problems. So you got a lot on your plate, including a number of children. But, well, you don't think you've ever been tested for bipolar disorder? You might, although, I trust your psychiatrist. If you need a community after dogs, email or text me. Hold on. Look at it. He gives his phone number, 1-267-721-9925, the great city of Philadelphia. Hey, go Eagles. Greg, are you going to cheer them on in the Super Bowl? They beat my Minnesota Vikings, but hey, anybody to beat New England. So, hello, I'm Greg. Are you a football fan, or are you going to cheer for the Eagles? Okay, so let's go back to when going through hell don't stop. But let's do another joke. I like to read books. It's one of the things it gives me great joy, and I love science fiction. The other day, I was reading this book. Let me see if I can grab it here. I was reading this book on anti-gravity. It was so good I couldn't put it down. All right. Did you get that? I hope you did. Go Eagles! Yes, Greg. Well, I'll be cheering for them. If they win, buy me a drink, except we're 3,000 miles away, so oh well. Besides, I don't drink. But buy me some kombucha. That's good for your gut. By the way, I'm going to do a whole video called Happy Gut, Happy Brain. How many of you take probiotics? How many of you know that you have to have your tummy down here in good shape for your brain up here to be in good shape? I'm glad you liked it, DJ Abbas. But no, seriously, there's been all this evidence. There are more serotonin receptors in the gut down here than there are in the brain. So are you guys taking your probiotics? Are you eating kimchi and sauerkraut? Are you eating fiber and beans, because the body converts that? You should try to stay away from processed foods, and even I love pasta, but it doesn't have enough fiber. The things that mostly have fiber are vegetables, fruits, and beans. So eat them. I got an alert. I got a new Patreon supporter. Never ever you comment on my post. Well, that's a good thing. Thanks for commenting on my post. Now we just have to see if I get did I get a pledge from you? Never ever. Hold on. Scott Parrish has pledged $5. You're a saint, Scott. Well, you get a free phone call from me in Seattle, and let's chat, see how I can help you. Thank you so much. You're a little angel, and I will send you the copy of my book, When Going Through Hell Don't Stop. If you don't have it, here it is, my memoir, A Survivor's Guide to Overcoming Anxiety and Clinical Depression. I spirit channeled that through me. All right, more questions. Any recommendations for probiotics? What brand? Yes, it's called Good Belly. I've been taking it for years. I have any digestive problems I ever had have been cured by this. Go to their website. It's G-O-O-D. I don't know if it's 2 words. Hey, Joan? Yes. Could you bring one of the Good Belly containers over here to the live chat? I want to show some people what it looks like. Just grab one of the containers from the refrigerator when you get a chance, okay? That's my partner, Joan, who I couldn't do any of this without her. She helps me run the group. She's my inspiration, my support, and she loves Bruce. If you have a chance, you can bring Bruce in. Here it is right here. Can you all see that? It's called Good Belly Straight Shot. It's about $3.29 for 4 of them, so about 80 cents a day. Or you can take, I do a half a day. So that's what I'd recommend. T-Mac-0192. Babar. Is Babar your real first name? Because that was a famous children's elephant in a children's series. So anyway, did that help? Bossing Joan about, yes, well, didn't I say please one, Claire Lou? Please, Joan. How's that? I really like you. You actually know more than any trained therapist. They don't understand depression. Well, I've had training, never ever. I've been in the hospital, not one, not two, not three, not four, 5 times I've been in the hospital. Don't I look crazy to you? Hey, that word crazy, that's, do you like that word crazy? I think it's very, very stigmatizing. You know, the word lunatic comes from the word luna, which means moon. Have you ever noticed at full moons, people get a little bit nutty? Good belly, we'll try it, of course. That's better. Yes. Did I not say, please, one Claro, you need to whip me into shape, baby. But I still need your email address if I'm going to answer your email. And I also want you to at least put a subject like, this is Claire Lou from the live chat. If you put that in your subject, I'll find it. Joan will not bring Bruce in. I'm having an anxiety attack. Did you see my email above? Are you saying my email right now on the live chat? I can't get into my email account. Sorry it's taken me so long to donate myself, but I got there. Scott Bauer, I'm going to tell you a story. I took a really cool physics course in high school from a guy named Mr. Blake. It started at 10 o'clock every day, 5 days a week. I was 16. Every day I walked in at 10:05. I was 5 minutes late. And Mr. Blake would say, what are you doing? I said, well, better late than never. And he said, no, better never than late. So my philosophy has always been better late than never. So Scott, you might have taken 6 months, a year, you might have taken a lifetime to donate, but you did it, right? Do you know how long it's taken me to get my act together? I'm 68 years old. I mean, I have not come into my own until the last couple of years. I have somebody on this live chat in my group now. One of my groups says, I can't believe I'm so old. My life has passed me by. You know how old this person was? 36. Can you believe it? Man, I didn't even get married till I was 36. So don't think your life has passed you by. You know Frank Lloyd Wright, the great architect, he didn't do his best work till his 80s. Pablo Casal, Pablo Picasso, Arturo Rubinstein, these are all artists who were doing stuff in their 80s and 90s. So you're never too old to heal, and you're never too old to contribute. I have memory loss. Is it normal? I forget even little things. Well, yeah, when you're depressed, it affects your memory, absolutely. When the depression is treated, your memory gets a lot better. So, one clearly, you said my email above where? That's what I want to know. Why don't you send me an email right now? douglasblock@gmail.com. I'll check my email on my phone. Tell me when you send it, and I'll go look in my email right now. Can we heal from childhood issues causing us to have low self-esteem? This is a hard way to live. Yes, you can. Okay, so I want you to go to a book called this. I think it's called The Body, something it's like knows the score. It's all about childhood trauma, or keeps the score. It's something like this, by Bessel van der Kolk. He is the expert on trauma. Something like that. Vero Paquette, hey, nice going. Nice to see you at last. Hi, Douglas Barnes. Adult child of alcoholic. Well, Douglas Barnes, hey, I'm glad you ordered my books. I am going to send them to you today. And by the way, you're DB, just like me. We have a lot in common, aside from being depressed. Anyway, you should go to ACOA meetings, Adult Child of Alcoholics, or ACE meetings. It's called ACOA, Adult Child of, or this. There's some really good groups in Portland. Where do you live? Go into Alcoholics Anonymous website and look up those. Vero Paquette, you must be French with that name, are you? Anyway, have you emailed me or have you sent messages to me through Messenger? Okay, so The Body Keeps the Score, Bessel van der Kolk, and I wish I had, I can't order Joan around again. Madison, Wisconsin. Hey, DB, that's where I had my transformation. At 22 years old, I was suicidally depressed. I visited my friend in Mass, and I had a spiritual revelation. I was there from 71 to 73. That's where I did all my healing. I love it. You're French and from your Canada. Wow. I love Canada. Sounds like every class I ever took. Yeah, I'm 30, and I feel like I totally tease when I say it. It's clear to the mental health hang up, like my body dysmorphia. Well, yeah. So hold on, I need to use what am I using my finger for? This chat screen, I have to. Okay, I feel already like I'm too old. Scott Bauer, you are a baby. You just don't even come into your age until you're 30. Well, Look, there's a very famous song by Frank Sinatra. Anybody know who he is? It's called Young at Heart. So when you're young at heart, it doesn't matter what age your physical body is. I feel as good as I did when I was 28. So, but when you're depressed and you're 30, you feel like an old man. So it all depends on your state of mind. So yes, of course you can heal. Go to ACOA, go to ACA and read that book by Vessel van der Kolk. I don't even want to try typing it. It's too difficult to type. But the body keeps the score. Here's the Patreon site. We already had Scott contribute, and I think Never Ever is going to contribute. I hope. If not, no problem. Let me test and see my alerts. I'm going to get a picture of Bruce. Ready for another joke? Okay, this is from Joel Osteen. This is for you, Daniel Kate. I hope you're listening. So, yeah. Pearly Bond and Scott, exchange email addresses. Start texting each other. Start supporting each other. If you're both 30 years old and you feel old, support each other. Okay, so an elderly woman, not old woman. I'm not old, I'm elderly, right? An old woman drives into the parking lot of a store, goes in the store, comes out. She's locked her keys in the car. What's she going to do? Somebody gives her a coat hanger. Have you ever used a coat hanger? You put it inside the window and you try to hook it under the lock and get it open. She couldn't do it. So she said a prayer. A minister tells this joke. God, please send someone to help me out so I can get in my car. At that moment, a guy comes up on a bicycle. He looks like a Hell's Angel. He's got a black leather jacket. He's rough hewn. He has a skull cap. He says, ma'am, let me try. Within 15 seconds, the door is opened. The woman says, thank you, God, for sending me this nice man to help me. And the man shakes his head. No, ma'am, I'm not a nice man. I just got out of the prison for auto theft. The woman, again, turns her head towards the heaven and says, thank you, God, you even sent me a professional. I thought that was cute. Anyway, I noticed that the ball was getting really big, and then it hit me. All right, more questions. I'm going to find Bruce. If no one's asking a question, you like that, Jeff? Hey, Jeff, you're back. Thank you for being a patron. Never ever pledged $5. Wow, you guys are doing well. I thought it was Scott Bauer who pledged. Oh, both of you did. And Jeff. Oh, wow, OGIH. God, we are now at 49 patrons. Wow, one more patron this hour. Now you guys who I'm going to email the book, you got to send me your email address so I know where to. I know it's Scott Bauer's email address, but Never Ever, I don't have your email address, and OG I don't. So I want to send you this book by email, and I need your email address. So you can either put it down here, or you can simply send me an email, douglasblock@gmail.com. I don't know, what am I going to do when we hit 50 patrons on Patreon? We'll have to have some sort of celebration here. Any ideas, you guys? Anyway, even my friends say, get over it if you act like an old lady, it's on your head. No. No, Pearly Bond. It's all in your brain. There you have it. If someone has cancer, you don't say it's all in your head. No, you say it's all in your cells dividing improperly. If someone has diabetes, you don't say it's all in your head. It's all in your pancreas. It's not functioning correctly. If someone has ulcers, you don't say it's all in your head. You say it's all in your stomach. You have too much acid. So don't let people tell you it's all in your head. That's dismissive. That's stigmatizing. It's all in your brain. The brain is the most complex organism in the body. It's the most complex thing in the universe. There's more connections between the cells of the brain than there are stars in the universe. You know how complicated that is? And when the brain goes south, the mood goes south. Hey, people do not commit suicide when they have, diabetes. But when they have depression or mental illness, it's 1 every 12 minutes in America. So they are discounting how painful this is. They don't know. The only people who know are people like you and me and everybody on this channel who have been through it. You love my cat? I'm trying to lean my friends less because I sense they're burning out and tired of my not getting better. So Dave, you know what you need to do? You need to you're in Vancouver, BC. I'll put you in touch with another guy named, another David who's written me. You need to start a support group right in Vancouver where you guys can get together and schmooze and use my book or anybody's book for your recovery. text or join Greg's online. You're right, your friends will burn out, but people like me will not burn out. I don't care. People can come to my group and say whatever they want. Whatever hell they've been through, I've been through it, so I do not mind. I don't go out anymore because that's all they say. Well, Perla, earwax is in your head too. You're very funny, Danielle. Perla, why don't you drive down to Houston and hang out with Danielle for a day? A meditation, of course, is beneficial, says one Claire Lou. A meditation is very, very helpful. Mindfulness-based meditation. All right, so let's go to pictures here. Just give me a second, and hold on. I got to answer a phone call. I mean, their text came to me. Yeah, 1 second, guys. I'm going to find a picture of Bruce that you're going to love. So it's just hanging there. Photos. Let's go. What do we do now? Damn, all photos. Here we are. We're getting close. And let's go to album. Okay, here's a picture of Bruce. He doesn't look too happy though. See that thing around his tail? That's an abscess. Anyway, we'll get a nicer picture of him. Scott Bauer, I understand it's not a logical thing, but it doesn't change anything. I have to get over it because I can't age backwards. I'm still mega immature. Hope I always will be. I don't know. Do you want to be immature? What does that mean? It doesn't sound very good. You can be young at heart, whatever age you are. I recommend the apps Oak and Headspace. Yeah, a lot of people use Headspace. Hello, I'm Greg. It's an application for meditation. Remember, meditation and medication only have one letter difference. Alone is horrifying to me because of my panic attacks and are so bad right now. Mental health problems and health ones are hard. Oh, wait a second. Because of my issues. Some people are okay with it, but not me. Well, are you not okay with being alone? Well, people are not meant to be alone. They're meant to be connected. We are human beings. I can't drive. I have vertigo. That's one thing. My panic attacks are so bad right now. I know. Mental problems and health ones are hard. Yeah, well, maybe your vertigo is related to your panic attacks. I wish I knew what... There are medications that help with vertigo. Are you seeing a good internist, Pearlie Bonda, as well as a good psychiatrist? Will that help with sleep? You're taking meditation, of course. Before you go to bed, you should always put yourself in a nice, relaxing space. And by the way, turn off all your screens, your computers, your phones. Give yourself an hour before bed without looking at anything. I take a hot tub, fortunately I have one, and then do some meditation. Get yourself ready for sleep. Anyone get relief from transcendental meditation? Oh my God, Douglas Barnes, you must be my age. TM has been around since the 70s, the 19s. I don't know, people might be listening to this in the year 2200. Probably not, but anyway, TM was huge in the 70s. No, it's anything that focuses the mind on the breath or the mantra and gives you a one-pointed focus is good. So yes, I know so many people who use transcendental meditation. Not quite as in as it used to be, but it's a very valid form of meditation. All right, do we have another joke from Joel Osteen? Yes, I've told this before, but I think it's pretty cute. Okay, anybody ever been in a small plane? I'm afraid to go in a small plane because you hear about those crashes. They killed a very famous rock and roll singer named Buddy Holly. Anyway, there's a small prop jet, and problem with it, it's starting to crash. There's 4 people, but only 3 parachutes. So what are we going to do? The first man says, I'm a leading heart surgeon. My patients need me. I'm taking this parachute. He jumps out of the plane. The second person says, I'm a leading rocket scientist. My country needs me. I'm one of the smartest men in the world. Or I actually am the smartest guy in the world. I need this parachute. He takes it, jumps out the plane. That leaves 2 people, a 10-year-old boy and the Pope. The Pope says to the boy, hey, I'm 80 years old. I've lived a good life. I know I'm going to meet Jesus when I die, so I'm at peace. So why don't you take the remaining parachute? The boy says, that won't be necessary, Pope. You see, there's still 2 parachutes left. That guy who said he was the smartest man in the world, he jumped out of the plane with my backpack. A surprise ending, don't you think? All right, a chocolate factory hunter is back. Flights with single engine have far more risk than twin engine plane. Well, thank you for letting me know that. I've never been on a prop jet. I've been on Horizon Airlines. That's pretty small. Anyway, the smartest guy in the world jumped out of the plane with my backpack. Wow, it's 45 minutes after the hour. Only 15 minutes left. Can you give us some words of wisdom to help us get through the agony? This too shall pass. Well, that is the words of wisdom. Also, Claire Lou, you haven't tell me what you're going to say in the subject matter of the email. I need to get back to you, but I have to know what the email is. Anyway, this too shall pass, and I can get through this one breath at a time. And the other thing to say, Claire, is the pain is barely bearable. If you say it's unbearable, that means you're SOL. But if you say it's barely bearable, that means you can cope. So, God, I just remember a time going to day treatment in my previous episode where I didn't know if I was going to make it through the hour. I was in so much pain, and I just struggled through each breath and minute, but I came through. But I think that this too shall pass is probably the best thing you can tell yourself. But the pain is barely bearable, and I can get through this one breath at a time. The Chocolate Factory Hunter says, Perla, that's a lot. They're always treating me for diabetes, tachycardia, anemia, and my vertigo. Wow. You poor thing. I mean, wow, you've got a lot going on for only being 29 years old. My heart goes out to you. Definitely connect with Daniel Kate. Rachel Hunt, Albert, I don't know what that means. Jack Fielding says, hello, Jack, you've never been on this channel before. Scott Bowers is my secretary because I have dysthymic double depression on top of my BTD and DP. Is that when my fluoxetine needs to be quite high dose to make a dent? Well, is it making a dent? Fluoxetine is Prozac. Yes, well, dysthymic double depression is what I've had. Dysthymia is low-grade chronic depression. I made a video on it. And when you have dysthymia and major depression, it's called double depression. I'm glad that Prozac is helping you. I knew someone who had a lot of problems, but turns out she was a hypochondriac. Well, yeah, health anxiety is a big, big problem. I don't really think Pearl Yvonne is, but some people are. Yes, plus I come home to be a mom and 4 and clean and cook and try to be happy for them for a couple of minutes at least. Well, maybe, thank God you've got your children to be happy for. So yeah, my heart goes out to you, Perla, it really does. Hey, one more patron in the next 13 minutes. For that person, I am going to mail you. I'm not going to send you an email of this book. I'm going to put this puppy in the mail to you with a personal signature for your wellness. If we can just get one more patron by the end of the hour to get myself up to 50. Plus a free 15-minute chat with me over the phone. Yeah, Perla, we all care about you, and we just know what you're going through. And wow, you are a courageous person. You know, it's the most courageous people who make it through depression, not the weaklings. You know, everybody says you're depressed, you're weak. Christopher Reeve, the great man who played Superman, but became paralyzed from the neck down due to a horse riding accident, used to say, my definition of a hero is this: someone who continues on in spite of overwhelming obstacles. That is a hero. Everybody on this channel who's here listening, all 24 of you are heroes, including myself, because we are continuing to persevere. It's easy to persevere when there's nothing wrong with your brain, but when there's something wrong with your brain and you hang in there, that is courage. So courage, remember, is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to move forward in spite of it. So you may be afraid, but keep going on. Dave Pickell, I'm all out of willpower. I know what I need to do, but I feel immobilized. Well, it is. So you need to be with people. You know, you need to coach. I'll coach you, but more important, find other people, Dave. I'll give you this guy's other name. Send me an email after 1 o'clock, and I will send you the email of another guy named David in your area, and I want you guys to hook up. Even the two of you. You know what Christ said, wherever 2 or more are gathered in my name, 2 or 3, I am there in the midst of you. The whole is greater than some of its parts. When people come together in community, it elicits a third energy. Some people call it the Holy Spirit. I call it the mastermind consciousness that comes in. It's a third force, and it can do what none of you can do alone. You don't believe me? Go rent a DVD called My Name is Bill W. There was Robert Smith alone in Toledo, Ohio, a chronic alcoholic, hopeless case. There is Bill Wilson, a hopeless alcoholic, came to Akron on a business trip. The business meeting was canceled. He didn't know what to do with himself, so he called up Bob Smith, visited him, and the two of them sat up all night talking about their old stories of getting drunk. And guess what? They didn't drink. And they didn't drink the next day. And next day, Bill Wilson never took another drink after June 1st, 1935. Do any of you know people in recovery Go to an AA meeting. Go to an Al-Anon meeting. They will tell you about the power of community. So Dave, I want you to find somebody who you can talk with, even over the phone. Call Greg. He gave you his phone number, the 267 phone number. Greg, I'm sure you wouldn't mind if Dave called you, even for 5 minutes. All this with no meds, just complex walking and therapy and meditation. What's wrong with meds? Do they not work for you? I mean, if they don't, I understand it, but you might want to try them. They help some people. Douglas Barnes, good to know about TM. Douglas, I'm 65, wife died of cancer. November 21st, oh, you poor thing, that's right, you wrote me. Job was limited January 8th, stepmother died on January 20th. What? You lost your mother, your wife, your stepmother, your wife in 2 months, and you lost your job. How are you coping? Oh my goodness! Wow. Let's all put Douglas Barnes in our hearts and say a prayer for him, that he will have the strength and the encouragement and the support to get through this hard time. Boy, there's an old book by Robert Schuller, Tough Times Never Last, but Tough People Do. Wow, it's you hang in there. I have a lot of compassion and a lot of respect that you are hanging in. Kevin McCourt from Ireland. We only have 9 minutes left. It's good to see you. Actually, it's probably 8:51 down there. How is school? Thank you for being a patron. We need one more patron. Amen, says Jeff, another patron. That's why you're here. Well, Sunday and Wednesday at noon at Pacific time. And where'd you say you live, Douglas Barnes? Somewhere in America, I believe. But get a hold of Greg. Seriously. And here, one last time, I'm looking for that final patron who gets a free phone call from me and gets a free book. Send an email. I said I wanted to hit, oh, by the way, yes, Super Chat right down there, a little $sign. Usually Cade contributes $1 for this, but I wouldn't mind a little bit of a contribution. But let me go ahead and give you the Patreon address. And guess what? You don't even have to do it right now, even by the end of the day. Okay, I had an allergic reaction to most of them. I'm scared, don't want to be no more. I pray for you, and remember, God is always with you. That's true. But Pearl Abundant, what about Lamictal? Madison, Wisconsin, you already told me. My God, ECT ruined my memory. Hey, what do you think of the Lake Mendota and Lake Winona? What do you think of the Memorial Union there? Right on the lake, isn't it beautiful? How's State Street going? How many years have you lived there? I'll never forget. Yes, you are an inspiration, Douglas Barnes. You've got all the support you need. Yeah, I want everybody, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Douglas Barnes, this is my gift to you. Ready for this? I want you to call this number. It's toll-free. It's called Silent Unity. I did a whole video on it. If you send me, I have your email. I'm going to send you a video on Silent Unity. You call this number. They will send the most amazing affirmative prayer for you. And they will hold you in the light for 30 days in their prayer chapel. You will notice a difference. This has never failed anybody. Silent Unity, 800-669-7729. That's 800-669-7729. Call them up. And there you are, Greg, 1-267-721-9925. Douglas Barnes and Pearlie Bonda. Call Greg, email him. You will be on his online support group. He has the Douglas Block seal of approval. He does. Linda Stokes, you're back. YouTube has been a huge healing tool for me. I have social anxiety and suffer from, why do my fingers work sometime and not others to move the screen to the right? I suffer from depression on and off since I can remember. Talking to psychiatrist doesn't work for me because I hide my true feelings. Well, hey, Linda Stokes, go to a counselor who you trust. And express your true feelings to them. You know, they say in AA, we're only as sick as our secrets. 5 minutes and 51 seconds left. So Douglas Barnes, please get a hold of hello, I'm Greg, and Dave Piquel, you do the same thing. Greg, how many people do you want in your online support group? Do you have a limit? James Emmanuel, I've seen you before. I'm 27, broke down in front of my family the other day. Going doctors like this. I've been thinking about church a lot recently. Greetings from England. Going doctors this week, hopefully. Well, guess what? We have a gal from Great Britain in my support group who says, call it the UK. People don't say England anymore, but I like England. There was a very famous song called England Swings Like a Pendulum Do by some guy in the 60s. Let me know if you know the name. Never ever says, thank you, Douglas. I meant what I said about any therapist. You have real experience on disorders. Yes, as I said, 5 hospitalizations does help. Never ever continue to write your comments on YouTube channel, email anytime you want. I'm here for you and everybody here is for you. No limits right now. I'll give it some thought. Well, how many people are in your group right now? I would cap it at 15. Or what I would do is if you have 30 people, have them meet at different times. Have like one group meeting on Thursday and one group meeting on Tuesday. Break it up. I'd say 15 online support should be enough at one given time. How many people do you have? Perligana Scott, thank you. Yes, because DP makes me so scared to go outside. Well, you know, if DP is like feeling you're out of your body, maybe you could just kind of flow with it. Like when I used to get stoned, don't get afraid of it. You have 6, including me right now. Well, great. So I'd say another 9 would be good. How many times have you guys met online? Do you email them and set a time? How do you do it? Do you have like Google Chats or Google Hangouts, or you do it over the phone? Thanks for the input, Doug. Appreciate it. Well, no, you have my seal of approval. Tell people how they actually are with you, how they are, you know, how you actually put this together. What technology do you use? One Claire Lou says, sending you strength, Douglas. 3 minutes and 47 seconds left. I'm still waiting for a Patreon subscriber, but I appreciate the 3 who have subscribed to me. I think it's never ever. An OG and Scott Bauer. Never ever an OG. I want your email. Oh, guess what? Patreon just gives me your email addresses. You don't have to give them to me. I have them. So I will be emailing you guys email copies of my book, When Going Through Hell Don't Stop, plus a word of thank you. Plus, if you could put my patreon.com link on your Facebook page, that would be very cool. You are going to the hospital next week as I'm getting worse? Oh, Kevin, please, please hang in there. When going through, don't stop. When going through hell, this too shall pass. How long will you be in the hospital, and why are you getting worse? Are you getting more depressed? Are you getting hopeless? Times would be a good idea too, yes. For me, it's like everything is small, the sky is falling, I get scared, like it's in a dream. Well, try to, where's my water? Pearly Bonnet, just try to flow with it, like surfing a wave, don't resist it. Just let it happen and don't get too scared about it. But it is weird that when your perception goes south like that, what do your doctors say you should do? I know that antidepressants work for some people, but you said you were allergic to them. So, yeah, just try not, I was, I have a video called Your Mind is a Battlefield. I ate some brownies about 6 weeks ago, about 2 months ago, that a friend had left. She didn't tell me there was marijuana in them. You were supposed to eat 1/4 of a brownie for a good high. I ate 2 of them. I was taken over by a force. My whole perceptions were changed. The world was spinning around me. It was very uncomfortable. But I just tried to go with the flow, enjoy the sensations. Of course, I knew they would be gone in 8 hours, so that helped. But when you fight against something, it makes it worse. So, Perla, see if you can just try to, you know, ride the wave when you get those changes in your perception. As I've heard you say, I've been down so long it looks like up to me. That was a very famous book. Is there anything causing it, Kevin, your depression, hopelessness? What medications are you taking? Have you ever had ECT or TMS? That's what saved my life 2 months ago. Face it, but I get scared. I run inside. Well, try to say something like, God is with me. Try to, you know, the Lord is my shepherd. Say something from the book of Psalms, you know, God is protecting me. Say those words to yourself. You'll be less scared. Yes, Perla, that feeling of unreality is very unnerving. Have faith, you will get better. I got to call Noah Thomas and Big No No. Will you go to his channel and see what he has to say about depersonalization? He's done videos on it. It's Big, BIGKNOWNO, and report back to me. Technically, that symptom is derealization, but it's under the same diagnosis because back and forth between DR and DP, I think they're very similar. So, Scott, what do you know about DR and DP? I'm going to give you Noah's channel. He's a great guy, and he has a huge following, but he deserves it. Because of all that he brings to the world. Yeah, go type that in YouTube and type in depersonalization on his videos on the search bar and see what he has to say. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Okay, so when I go off the air, this chat, what is it? It's not a chat box. I don't know, what is it called? A chat something will be going for 10 more minutes. Continue to talk, continue to exchange emails. Continue to sign up with Greg's online support group. Greg, you should do this at least one time. What I up to today, says TMACO192, I'm going to go send ebooks to all these nice people who went ahead and subscribed to my channel. And I think I've sent one to you. If not, let me know. And then I'm going to go for a bike ride. DP is sensory overload. I feel you Pearl. Well, come on. Let's do some research. Someone come up with a cure for DB. Huh? You'll win the Nobel Prize for Medicine. I don't enjoy life anymore. I have no interest in living. Can you tell? Kevin McCord says, can you tell what caused it? Yes, your brain circuits are not acting appropriately. Your pleasure center is turned off. That's what's going on. Your brain is dysregulated, and you're trying to get your brain back in balance. That's the whole point. Very scary. Antidepressants, anxiety. There's nothing to fix it for me. You get up you're what's something about any given day. It says here, you're really brave to even get up any day, but do as much as you can. As you do, I'm impressed. Well, I'm going to say a prayer of thanks right now to the universe, to spirit, to God, that I have never dealt with depersonalization, derealization. Boy, added to my current symptoms of dysthymia and anxiety and GAD and obsessions and depression, I'd be really a mess. So, enough is enough. But Kevin, you're suffering from clinical depression. It's treatable. And all I know is set the intention to heal, reach out to support. Have you done a vision statement, Kevin? I'm going to send me your email. I'm going to send you a free chapter from Healing from Depression, which I should have shown you, but I don't have it. And write down a vision statement of what your life would look and feel like if you were healed from depression and anxiety, and start to read that every day. Share it with your friends, with your parents, with your support. In the meantime, I'm signing off. It's been wonderful hanging out with you guys. Very good questions, very good support. This is a tremendous group of people. I will be doing this for the foreseeable future, every Sunday, every Wednesday at noon. New videos coming out every Monday morning at 7 a.m. And I will be posting an update on Bruce sometime this week. And, reach out for help. Let people know how you're feeling. Tell your therapist. Someone said they were hiding their feelings from their psychiatrist. Not a good idea. If you don't trust your psychiatrist or don't feel comfortable, find someone you do. And find other people to be with. Never Ever says, please show me your email address. Again, here it is. Douglas, Douglas, block, BLOCH, @gmail.com. And just go to healingfromdepression.com. Yeah. Go here and go under contact. You'll see everything about me and Bruce and the whole 9 yards. So go to my website, email me. And did that work? Never Ever? I hope you feel better. I've read some of your comments on my YouTube channel. I have tremendous empathy. I hope I've answered them well for you, and I'm glad. Thank you for the compliment that I'm better than any therapist. Now I should just start charging as much, $150 an hour as opposed to 20 to 40 an hour for my groups. But hey, it's an act of love. So thank you for allowing me to share with you. Thank you for allowing me to do my mental health ministry. I need you as much as you need me. This service work really makes my day. I always feel enlivened and upbeat and uplifted after I talk with you guys. So I'm glad you got it, and I'm going to stop the streaming now. In the meantime, until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery.